new WNBA champion was crowned, and what a game it was to end the season. Let's get right into this highlight as the tension was real last night. The Aces, they were down 2 starters with Chelsea Gray. Kia Stokes ruled out before Game 4 after getting injured in Game 3.
What a wild start. Starters right there coming in on crutches.
Yeah.
Like, what? Never seen that before.
And the Liberty, they came out in a groove today. Sabrina Ionescu knocks down the 3.
Look, for me, when she shoots the ball, before it's released, everyone is on their feet in Barclays. I've never seen anything like that.
And good ball movement here.
Extra.
The Liberty,
read all about it.
Look, they led by as much as 12. Chelsea Gray, the 2022 Finals MVP, coaching up the Aces on crutches, like you said. And the defending champs would respond specifically to Asia Wilson.
Bucket. The question was who would take up the ball handling duties, and it was Asia. Surprise. Becky Hammond, our teammate here at ESPN, had one up her sleeve, but look at this. One-on-one moves, going to her strong left hand. She finished every tough shot that needed to be made.
18-5 run to end the 3rd quarter. They would take a 2-point lead into the 4th. Here we are in the 4th. Aces up 4. Jackie Young, former Notre Dame star, stepped up big for them.
Look, an underrated scoring night for her, but when it came down to the clutch, that shot, when she looked at her bench, she was like, oh, we about to win this. Okay, I see you, KB.
And she had 16, but this would be a fight to the end. Ionescu catch and shoot 3.
And in that moment, we're like, oh, they still have a chance because of Sabrina.
And 5 minutes to play. We got game tied at 60. Wilson, crossover. Finish.
What? To the right? See, that's the scouting report. You're like, take away the left, but then watch this again. Left is her strong hand. That step back. This was it.
Nasty.
That was the bucket.
And Dawn Staley, her former college coach, like all of us, fired up. 24 points, 16 rebounds for the 2-time MVP. Liberty on the other end.
Big 3. Big 3.
She led the Liberty with 19. So next possession, after plum turnover, Ionescu.
Free throw line.
Liberty down 1. Now, after a good defensive effort by the Liberty, 8.8 seconds left. Liberty inbounding, down 1. Stewie gets double teamed, swings to Vandersloot in the corner here. And the 3, way off. The Aces hang on to win 70-69, their 2nd straight title, first repeat champs in 21 years, calling this one that much sweeter. Here they are, elated.
Go Chelsea.
After the game. She got up in that, too.
I can't express how proud I am of my teammates. They picked me up when I was down. We cried together, prayed together, and now we popping champagne together!
There was a lot of years that we weren't so super, but you can't build a super team in a couple months. It takes years, and I'm just really proud of this group. Every single one of these people stepped up, made plays, and we're champions.
It shouldn't be easy. It should be hard as heck to go in there and repeat, and it was. You know, to have the set of circumstances that we were dealt within the last 48 hours, I mean, it's just been one thing after another, quite frankly, if I'm being real.
We kept the main thing. This wasn't easy at all. And a lot of people counted us out. From jump. That fueled us. We read it, we see it.
Thank you.
And it fueled us, so thank you. So, yeah, that says a lot about us.
Who voted Asia 4th place for MVP?
Own it. Step forward.
Come on. Now's the time.
Will the real Slim Shady please stand up?
Come on. Wait.
Own it.
I mean, they were having a great time, but that also
Receipts.
shows. Exactly. I mean, they're acting as if they weren't the most dominant team in the league this year, and that's a part of the reason why they're champions, because they used whatever they needed to fuel them in this comeback. It was actually the 2nd largest comeback in a title-clinching win all time. What impressed you the most about the Aces closing this out in 4 games?
First of all, Asia, I voted for you for Finals MVP, and I wish, if I weren't a player, that would have been a different decision. That 4th, that's crazy. So let's just make that known. What impressed me the most was the Finals MVP. I mean, every basket that mattered in this Game 4, she knocked it down. And she was going up against 2 of the toughest defenders in her career. You think about Stewie, you think about JJ. Her and her one-on-one isolation moves was out of this world. Every bucket was contested, and every bucket she nearly finished, especially down the stretch. 24 and 16. Mind you, those 16 rebounds she had, all defensive. That's what she needed to do. They were down Kia Stokes. They were down Chelsea Gray, 2 people that can rebound the ball, and she showed up in the biggest ways. Finals MVP, someone that really believed she was an MVP in this league. I think she took it personally. It carried through. We all were saying this is going to be a really difficult task for them going into Game 4 without Chelsea Gray. And the crazy thing is that we thought it was going to be Kelsey Plum really initiating the offense. We thought it was going to be Jackie Young. It turned out to be Asia. I'm going to put the ball in your hands, and you're going to carry us through. Coach Becky Hammond said she is their emotional leader, and she did it flawlessly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and look, as they pointed out post-game, they heard everything, and they used it. And Asia, the first player in WNBA history with 20 points and 15 rebounds in a finals clinching win, really solidifying herself as one of the best players to see in this league.
Obviously, we're sad, and it hurts, but you're still proud of the journey that we had, and that's I just reminded him. Vegas really exploited us, and I thought Asia and late in the game, Jackie certainly got to the rim and. We had some open looks that we missed too. Sometimes that's basketball.
We just wanted to keep fighting, knowing that we had one another's back, that this is the finals. And it potentially, at that point, it potentially could be the last 3 minutes of our season. And, looking back, obviously it was. But making sure that we did whatever we could to force a Game 5, and it didn't go our way.
So Stewie shot just 3 of 17 from the field in Game 4. That's the worst shooting performance of her playoff career. That was the punctuation of a tough postseason for the 2023 MVP, with Stewie's 4 worst playoff shooting games coming this year. And I think another tough exclamation point was that final play. So let's go back to the final play of the game. Janae, were you surprised that the Liberty didn't get a better shot off there?
I was not, because you're going to put the hands in the MVP in Breanna Stewart and give her an opportunity to bring this home and push a Game 5. So as we break it down here, this is what happened. Las Vegas Aces have the #1 defense in the WNBA and also #1 offense, but they wanted this mismatch with about 6 inches difference between AC and Stewie. Jackie Young, MVP of the final play, coming in and doubling off of her blind side. Kelsey Plum made a great read, playing the lane line to make this pass not crisp, because if it was a crisp pass, that could have been an easy shot. And the crazy thing also is that if the shot was maybe 1 or 2 seconds earlier, JJ had an opportunity. She's one of the best old boarders in the league. So I think that double delayed the crisp motion, because we all know the Liberty, they're excellent at passing the ball. But the only thing that is better than that is the Las Vegas defense, and they showed their identity on the final possession to clinch a championship. I mean, a dream scenario if you're growing up. We all love basketball. To be able to win on the final possession, but with grit, with might, that's what they did from the tip all the way to the final buzzer.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching just that play, it looked really broken. You don't want to just get a 3 when you're down 1 with 8 seconds to go, is what I'm saying. But the biggest point made is that the Aces, they swarmed them, and they said they were going to throw the kitchen sink, and that's exactly,
and they did that.
And they absolutely did that. Let's now bring in Kendrick Perkins, who's joining us now. And Perk, I know you were watching this game. What did you see down this stretch?
I saw the Aces shoot 41% from the field, 23% from 3, and won the damn game. And you know what happened? And I know offense win you games, but defense win you championships. In that third quarter, the Aces came out and they got on the Liberty's behinds like back pockets, holding them to 12 points. And it was just the scrambling on defensively. It was staying composed, staying in the moment. I mean, Asia Wilson boxed out one time, and it was a textbook box out. I mean, the ball could have hit the floor about 7 times before she actually picked it up. And the way she was anchoring that defense emotionally and staying out of foul trouble and, just anchoring it. A defense is always going to bring you home. Plum shot, 2 for 12 last night? But they hung their hats on their identity, and they looked like the more experienced team and the more ready team, and that's what got them over the hump.
Perk, you're absolutely right, and I'm glad you're tuned in, because I know we have a lot of NBA preseason games going on, but this was a game of the ages. It was also the birth of a dynasty, and it was also the birth of a rivalry. We got all of that in 40 minutes.
Becky Hammond and the Aces. It's like Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. It's Becky and the Aces. Fantastic. I thought about getting booted tonight because it was exactly the same time, but I just thought this has to be my priority. But it was close. It was close. Congrats, Becky. Yeah, baby.
I mean, that Smokey reference just adds to
Love
his legend. I really do. The Aces, they've been dominant from start to finish, winning a WNBA record 34 regular season games behind the best offensive efficiency in league history. They outscored teams by 12.6 points per game, third best in WNBA history behind only the 98 and 2000 Comets. And now they finished it off with an 8-1 run to the title. So, let's finish this sentence, Chiney.
Ooh.
The Aces are the most dominant championship team since
the Minnesota Lynx. But first, let me say this. Last night, it took just 40 minutes across this bridge for the world to see not only a game for the ages, which was full of drama, 2 starters down, backs against the wall, and the Las Vegas Aces get it done. We also witnessed the birth of a dynasty because they are the first back-to-back champions since 2000-ish. And then also the birth of a rivalry, and that's why I said the Minnesota Lynx, because my sister played for the Los Angeles Sparks. I am emotionally invested as a player of the W, but also someone who has supported and loved these moments. We got an instant classic last night that really just showed how good this team is. Down someone that generates, 34% of your offense from passes and assists. Down someone that has been the anchor of your defense. And you're still able to bring a championship home in the face of a super team that had studs and that had all the energy and excitement. This is what the WNBA has been looking for 27 years. The Las Vegas Aces delivered. They delivered. And I say the Minnesota Lynx, this is the last time, because it came down to the wire. Again, it came down to the final possession. I know it came down to the wire because my sister hit the game-winning shot in 2016 for the Sparks to win. But it was the Lynx that won 4 titles in 7 years. The Las Vegas Aces did something the Lynx did not do. They won it back-to-back. And it feels like the future is theirs. And I hate to say this as a player because we competing. But the ability to have so many top players, so many number 1 picks. You know how that feels, Perk. So many number 1 picks when your backs are against the wall. Kelsey Plum getting 8 rebounds. Jackie Young having 7 assists. Kayla George hitting 3 threes. Coming off the bench playing, 40 or something minutes in the postseason. What the Aces have done is historic. Everyone should be watching, and I really think that this has been impressive, and we are in a new era of basketball, not the WNBA, a new era of basketball where women are defining the possibilities.
Preach. I mean, look, you made a point. Dynasty twice you've said on this show about them. I do want to ask this question to you gentlemen. Brian, the Aces are the most dominant championship team since who?
Since the last pro team we saw win back-to-back titles, which was the Warriors, and specifically the 17 Warriors, because everybody wants to take something away from Kevin Durant back then. The 17 Cavs, who the Warriors trounced in that finals, were as good of a team as LeBron's ever played for. Maybe the 13 Heat were a little bit better, and the Warriors trounced them because they were awesome. And the Liberty were a super team that was put together to beat the Aces, and they had to overcome the injuries in the finals, and they still won. So, you know, that's comparable to me, that they were able to win it despite the strength of the opposition.
Shaq and Kobe, we forget about them. The last team to three-peat in 2001. They lost 1 game in their postseason. They lost 1. That's how dominant they were for the and they was winning. That was their back-to-back championship. So that was the middle of their three-peat. Like, we forget what they was doing to the league, what Shaq was doing, the big man in the inside, how he changed the game. 2001 Lakers and that three-peat team with Kobe and Shaq, they were different.